transformational leader, redefining governance in the states. The governor's 9-point agenda covering education, healthcare, agriculture, water supply, housing and urban developments, infrastructure has been lauded by residents of the state. Meanwhile, Sokoto APC has released a comprehensive scorecard outlining key achievements of his administration over the past 2 years. The state's APC chairman, Honorable Isa Sajid Achida, commended Governor Aliyu for what he described as a remarkable and people-centered performance that has positively impacted all sectors of the state. Joining me tonight to discuss the state of development in Sokoto under Governor Ahmad Aliyu is the Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Haji Sambo Bello Danchadi. Good evening to you, Mr. Commissioner. Welcome to Politics Tonight. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Good evening, Olaju Meke. Good evening, the good people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and beyond. It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much.
On the achievements of His Excellency Governor Ahmad Aliyu of Sokoto State.
It's also good to see you again, Mr. Commissioner. I mean, just like I reeled out in my introduction, Governor Aliyu's campaign was based on a 9-point agenda to improve the lives of the people of Sokoto State. The areas of education, health, water, agriculture, security, youth empowerment, local government autonomy, religious affairs and economy. 6 months after our last conversation, which was in September, what has changed in Sokoto State?
Yes, His Excellency has added a lot in improving the lives of the people of Sokoto State. I am saying many of our opponents, those who voted and supported the PDP in Sokoto State, many of them are now biting their fingers with regret because Governor Ahmad Aliyu has changed the story for the better. In fact, I'm telling you, not only our opponents, even the APC supporters are very much surprised with the performance of Governor Ahmad Aliyu. Many supported him with what I could say the benefit of the doubt. But having gone these 2 years now and about clocking the first half of his 4-year tenure, everybody is singing his praises. Even our opponents are saying it, though silently. But again, one cannot forget that some of the eminent citizens of Sokoto State, during the last Salah celebration, His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, called him in Hausa Gwamnan Gwamnoni, meaning the first among governors. Anybody who visits Sokoto, the state capital, can attest to the fact that the landscape is changing. In fact, if you fly by air, from the time you land in the Sultan Abubakar III International Airport, on your way into the town, you will be greeted by brand new roads and beautiful landscape in the state. You come into the town itself and you can see, in fact, new Sokoto is in the making. Governor Ahmad Aliyu has transformed Sokoto into one large construction site because new roads are springing up in every part of the state capital. But we have had also our opponents claiming that we have concentrated development in Sokoto city. But only if they care to go into the hinterland, they can see that Governor Ahmad Aliyu, like he said, he is a villager. Though born and bred in Sokoto, he worked in the hinterland, in the local governments. He was a local government staff before he went to the state service. So he knows the lives of the people in the rural areas. Currently, we have a number of, some 25 roads and another set of about 15 roads under construction in various parts of the state. We also have roads being built by the Sokoto state government under the Sokoto Ministry of Works, like the road linking Gada and Ilela local government, which is being totally rebuilt and asphalted. We can also remember the road being built from Tangaza to Gudu local government. Gudu, incidentally, is one of the local governments bordering Niger Republic, and the governor is constructing a road, brand new road from Tangaza to Balle. We also have roads. He has taken over the construction of the road from Kajiji to the Zamfara state border. That is a federal road, but the governor in his magnanimity is constructing that road under an agreement with the federal government based on the federal government specification. These are some of the roads that we can talk about. In education,
Commissioner. Now, Honorable Commissioner, let me come in there because I'm sure we have enough time to look at these sectors. We have enough time to look at these sectors one after another. So kindly let me put you on hold while we quickly talk about politics. Let's deviate a bit. After all, this is politics tonight.
Go ahead.
You know, Nigerians are aware of the fallout between former governors Atairu Bafarawa and Aliyu Wamako. They were friends. But that friendship deteriorated due to political ambitions and ideological differences in 2006. And you know, we're aware that this fallout shaped Sokoto's politics, creating factions aligned with either Bafarawa or Wamako. The governor was on Wamako's side, but it looks like there is a realignment of forces between Governor Ahmad Aliyu and former Governor Atairu Bafarawa. Does this suggest an end to these long-standing divisions?
I hope it does, but at least for the meantime, former Governor Bafarawa himself has praised Governor Ahmad Aliyu. In his words, he compared Governor Ahmad Aliyu to the former Northern Premier, Amadou Bello, Sardona of Sokoto. And this can tell you, you know, the towering political image of Governor Ahmad Aliyu across Sokoto State. You can see that everyone is singing his praise because he has shown practically what it means to govern a state like Sokoto. Sokoto is one of the states that people see as a state that does not have a very strong economy. But he has been able to manage, and the achievements he has garnered these past 2 years, you know, is a very positive story to tell. Anybody who visits Sokoto can tell you that Sokoto has changed. The people themselves have benefited from the good administrative engineering of Governor Ahmad Aliyu. The civil servants themselves are well taken care of.
All right, so Honorable Commissioner, you've just insinuated
and when
that
due, he is now defraying the debt of pensioners.
So you just insinuated that former Governor Wamako made this move. You just insinuated that former Governor Wamako made this move. Could this be because he has dumped the PDP and has now assumed the position of an elder statesman?
Who?
Okay, so you just insinuated that former Governor Wamako made this move, and as you know, in the last few months, praised the administration of Governor Aliyu. So I'm asking, could this be because he has dumped the PDP and has now assumed the position of an elder statesman?
Who? You mean Wamako?
Yes.
Wamako is the leader of the APC in Sokoto State.
Yes.
Governor Ahmad Aliyu is his political son. The achievements of Ahmad Aliyu cannot be separated from former Governor Wamako. In fact, when he was asked to comment on the achievement of his son, he said he would rather leave it for the people to say. He was instrumental to choice of Ahmad Aliyu, and everyone now is seeing the wisdom in that choice. Even those who did not vote for him or did not support him at that time. I'm telling you, today they are ready, I am sure, to vote for Ahmad Aliyu should he come back for the 2027 gubernatorial contest.
All right, Honorable Commissioner, you know, APC in Sokoto State has always claimed that when the party took over, Sokoto State was in a deplorable situation. The chairman of your party had said at the time that essential structure or infrastructure such as water supply, electricity, and metropolitan roads were in shambles. In 2 years, do people now have access to potable water? Do they now have access to good roads? Is there constant electricity?
They have very good roads. For water, we are working on a 40 million gallon project for Sokoto City. But before that work is completed, the governor has embarked on the construction of boreholes in different parts of the state. But that is before the project 40 million gallons for the state is completed. That project is still under construction, and we hope that before the rainy season sets in, that project should be completed.
All right, let's talk about security, because, you know, it was just in February, no fewer than 11 worshippers, including an imam, were abducted by yet to be identified gunmen who invaded a mosque in one of the communities. But also residents of the communities have said that the gunmen had been molesting them in that community for the past 3 months and 4 months, and government was yet to do anything about it. On Wednesday also, suspected militants of the Islamic State in the Sahel province, locally referred to as Lakrawa, launched a deadly assault on Kalenjini. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Is Governor Aliyu folding his hands till Sokoto State becomes another place like Plateau of Benue?
No, far from that. That is not correct. You see, I could tell you, even some few days ago, the results of the governor's effort in improving security in the state manifested. Some bandits attempted to attack Kwari, one of the local government areas around, very near to the state capital. And they were, you know, chased away by the state community gas corps in conjunction with the federal security agencies. You see, the state government has taken drastic measures as far as security is concerned. We have in place the security guards corps. These are young men selected, trained, and equipped by the state government from the security-prone areas. These are areas around the Sokoto East Senatorial District. And we have also beefed up the collaboration between the state government and the security agencies. In the past, the previous administration of the PDP was playing politics with security. But since Governor Ahmad Aliyu came in, he paid off the arrears of security allowances that was being owed the security agencies. He also increased the amount that they were being paid. Apart from that, he also was able to give them vehicles. Some of the vehicles are professional military vehicles, and that has also increased security. The community guards corps themselves were given 800 motorcycles and 30 four-wheel drive vehicles to ease their movements. Then the governor has also been instrumental to the putting in place of an Air Force base in Sokoto. All these are actions taken by the governor to make sure that security in Sokoto State is improved. You should understand that Sokoto is bordering other states like Zamfara and even the bordering Niger Republic. We are pleased to note that the diplomatic relations between Nigeria and Niger is being made better. Only recently, I recall the Minister of Foreign Affairs was in Niamey. And all these things will help in improving the security situation, because we are, when you talk about these security breaches coming from other countries, but since the Nigerian and the Nigerian government have smoothened their relationships, we hope that security situation will also improve along the borders with our neighbors.
Because, what critics of Governor Aliyu have said is that the governor has not done enough to put on ground support mechanisms in Sokoto State to complement military efforts and ongoing counterinsurgency operations. And I wonder how you react to that as well.
That is not true. That is not true, because our relationship with the military has drastically improved compared to what it was during the previous administration. And one can, tell this fact from the number of incidences that have reduced. In fact, economic activities have picked up in those areas. I can tell you from a reliable authority that even the Isa-Sokoto road, is being plied now as opposed to what it used to be in the past, when travelers have virtually abandoned that route, the road from Manwana to Isa. And people are now using that road. And people are also traveling from Sokoto to Gorenyo and Sabon Birni day and night. All these are evidences that the security situation has improved in Sokoto State.
But I wonder why...
We cannot rule out, a few incidences that could happen. You know that security is multidimensional. It's not only about the state itself, and sometimes you have some of these people coming across from neighboring states. These are some of the things we are contending with. But I am pleased to note that the president has given marching orders to the military to make sure that before the end of this year, security must be improved across all the troubled areas in Nigeria.
All right.
And we are happy with that.
But Honorable Commissioner, I wonder why the Special Advisor on Security to the Governor, and the person of Colonel Ahmad Usman, has called on the governor for support to reintegrate about 390 repentant Boko Haram members. What's the motive behind this? Is that necessary?
Well, I have not heard of that, and I don't think that is correct. But if they are truly repentant, and I believe there is nothing wrong in reconciling with them, if they are truly repentant.
Right, because we've seen situations where bandits publicly lay down their arms. We've seen situations where these Boko Haram members surrender and say they're done with disturbing the sanity of these communities, but they end up going back to their vomit, which is carrying these arms again. So if Colonel Usman is advocating for reintegrating these Boko Haram members, so I wonder what the motive is, and that's what the critics of the governors are saying.
Well, you see, all these things are issues concerning the state as well as the federal government. So these issues must be, treated both at state and also at national level. And I believe the state government will collaborate with the federal government on issues like this.
All right. Again, I remember that in September, I drew your attention to another alarming situation, which is like an offshoot of insecurity, the upsurge of displaced persons in the capital. This has resulted in the conversion of every available uncompleted structure and buildings into camps, especially for the underaged and children of school age who have been forced to stop going to school on account of either, the death of their parents or kidnapping of the same. How has the governor addressed this?
It is the intention of the Sokoto State government to make sure that the IDPs are well taken care of. I can tell you that only about 2 weeks ago, the state government purchased a house at 100 million naira to take care of the disabled. And the government has been giving them assistance. Even last week, the government distributed food items and different types of interventions for the welfare of the IDPs. The government is taking good care of them, and it is our hope that as the situation improves, everyone will be able to return to their places of abode. It is better for us to make sure that this issue of IDPs is brought to a halt by ensuring that the situation improves so that people can return to their places, the natural habitat where they belong to. And the government is taking every action required to make sure that while they are in the state, outside their places of residence, they are well taken care of, and when the situation improves, they will be returned to their natural habitats.
But if you were in a position to advise Mr. President, do you think he should declare a state of emergency on insecurity?
But I'm not in a position to do that.
If you were in that position, Honorable Commissioner...
There are better qualified people to do.
If you were in that position, what would your advice be?
Beyond borders.
No. I mean, we're talking about insecurity, and a lot has happened in the last... Can you hold on, Honorable Commissioner? We're talking about insecurity, and a lot has happened in the last 4 months. Plateau, Benue, Borno State, Zamfara. The residents are still very scared of what would happen to them by this time tomorrow. So it's a general question beyond your state. If you were in a position to advise Mr. President, would you ask him to, or would you advise him to declare a state of emergency on insecurity?
I know. I know that the president is in contact with the relevant security officers that will have the mandate to advise him. Even I saw a few days ago that he held a meeting with the security chiefs, and I believe they must have given him all the advice that he requires, because they have more details and they have better information, better reach than my humble self. And I believe they will take good care of those problems. We will continue to play our part as a state, and the federal government will also play its own part. You know, the Sokoto state government belongs to the same party with the federal government. And whatever we do, we make sure that we are, on the same page with the federal authorities. All right.
Let's talk about education, Honorable Commissioner. The governor had said his commitment to the development of education is not political, but he in fact means his campaign promise to revamp the educational sector. It's been 6 months since we spoke about the Agile project. It's been 6 months since we talked about the over 776,000 out-of-school children across the 23 local government areas of the state. It's been 6 months since I drew your attention to the fact that we're aware that apart from huge funds expended into that sector, the state has also been a beneficiary of some collaborations and interventions by international partners and donor agencies. Yet the decade-long crisis persists. What else has the governor done in 6 months to address these issues?
The governor has done a lot. I can tell you that we have constructed blocks of classrooms across the entire local governments of Sokoto State. We have procured and distributed furniture for primary schools. We have built boreholes even in some primary schools. 97 blocks of 2, 3, and 4 classrooms are also being constructed. At secondary school level, I can tell you that the Sokoto State government has awarded a contract for the total rehabilitation of dilapidated structures in some of the secondary schools, some of the premier secondary schools in the state. Sultan Muhammad Machedo Institute, Sultan Abubakar College, the Sokoto Teachers College, Gamban Girls Unity Secondary School, Bodinga, Nagarta College in the state capital. the Yabo Government Science Secondary School in Yabo, these are some of the secondary schools that are being completely rehabilitated because they have dilapidated structures, and also the Ministry of Education has embarked on, tour of secondary schools to make sure that teachers report to school in time and that they stay in their classrooms. The Commissioner of Education, both science, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, as well as the Ministry of Science and Technology, and also the Ministry of Higher Education. You must also be reminded that Sokoto is one of the states that has, in its budget, budgeted 25% of the state budget to education. This is far in excess of the international standard. And the government has also done a lot in the areas of tertiary education. Courses that had earlier not been accredited, the governor has ensured that those courses of the state university and the Shagari College of Education have been accredited. He has also ensured that students, both at home and abroad, are taken care of. One could recall the issue of students that were returned from Sudan, students that were returned from Ukraine. All these students have been transferred to universities in Nigeria, and their courses are being fully funded. I could remember also the issue of students from India, medical students that were taken to India by the previous administration. Governor Ahmad Aliyu has paid off their tuition fees to ensure that they finish their schools, and most of them are back in Sokoto, and they have completely finished their courses. Talking about the Usman Danfodio University itself, the governor has offset all the tuition fees of the students from Sokoto State. He has also been able to purchase as assistance to students from secondary schools forms for admission into higher institutions, both for JAM and also for other category of schools in the higher tertiary institution. The governor has also made interventions in the higher institutions in the state. So these are some of the areas that I can rightly bring to your attention.
All right, Honorable Commissioner, we need to go on a break.
In education.
Right, we need to go on a break. But quickly, how many blocks of classrooms did you say the governor has built so far?
At the time I told you previously, there were about 1,500. Now they are beyond 3,000 classroom blocks across the state.
All right then, Honorable Commissioner, let's go on a break, and when we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Come back to Politics Tonight, everyone. Thank you very much for staying with us on the program. Alhaji Sambo Dido Danchadi is my guest tonight. He's the Commissioner for Information and Orientation in Sokoto State. And tonight we're dissecting Governor Aliyu's stewardship in focus. Honorable Commissioner, thank you very much for staying with us on the program. I want us to stay with addressing the education infrastructure deficit, because according to the 2022 National Personnel Audit obtained from the Universal Basic Education Commission, the state has only 14,657 classrooms in total for primary and secondary school children. In spite of all its investments in building classrooms, it means there is a shortfall, or there is still a shortfall of 57,343 classrooms. So when you say that so far, Sokoto State across all the 23 local governments has only 3,000 blocks of classrooms, it's a shocking number. But overall, when should Sokoto people expect well-equipped classrooms from this administration? How soon?
Well, Olajumeke, we are on course. And I'm telling you, Governor Ahmad Aliyu is poised to make sure that education is rejuvenated in Sokoto State. You can recall that girls' child enrollment has drastically improved across the state. Since 2023, over 800,000 girl children have been enrolled in school in Sokoto State. And more classrooms are coming. And you can also recall that the new 70,000 salary increment has been implemented by the government of Sokoto State, not only for the state civil servants, but also for civil servants at local government level and primary school teachers. In fact, many of the primary school teachers in Sokoto State couldn't believe their eyes when they saw their new pay package. And that has gone a long way to, brighten the lives of the people, especially classroom teachers, who for a long time have been neglected. But today, the government of Ahmad Aliyu has put smiles on their faces. And that is also going to impact positively on education in Sokoto State.
And still on that, I'm aware that another significant factor is the cultural practice of insisting on acquiring basic Islamic knowledge before enrolling children in Western education. I'm sure you agree with me that this practice often results in delayed enrollment or even, discourage parents from seeking formal education for their children. What exactly can government do about that? Is government considering...
I don't think that is exactly correct.
Okay.
You see, children are now running both the Islamic as well as the formal education system. They go hand in hand, all together at the same time. Even people like my humble self, we attended Quranic school, and at the same time we were able to go to the formal secondary schools, primary and secondary schools. So that is not a hindrance at all. In fact, the religious education, in fact, enhances the capacity of the child to be able to assimilate both education practices, either the Islamic education as well as the formal Western education.
All right, let's talk about local government autonomy, Honorable Commissioner, because I remember you said to me that the Supreme Court judgment aligns with Governor Aliyu's aspiration to empower the local council administration to contribute effectively to the new tempo of economic and social development. Again, Governor Aliyu also believes that local governments in Sokoto states need more than the 2 years tenure to effectively conceive and implement projects. And I learned that that has been extended to 3 years. Am I correct?
I'm happy you remember exactly.
Yes, but am I correct? It's been extended. Okay. So talk to us about how Sokoto State is setting the pace on financial autonomy for local councils.
All the local government councils in Sokoto State are being given their due allocation, though not directly, because this is a national issue. And as soon as those national issues have been ironed out, Sokoto will be one of the first states to operate local government full autonomy. You should recall that Governor Ahmad Ali was himself a staff of the local government before he joined politics. So Sokoto will make sure that everything that is due to the local governments is given to them.
I hear you, Honorable Commissioner, but the PDP claims...
to be sorted out.
Right, the PDP claims all these achievements are lies. Did you hear that, Honorable Commissioner? The PDP claims all these achievements are lies. The state PDP chairman describes Governor Aliyu's administration as anti-people and anti-progress. I mean, Goroyo says APC has dragged the state backwards since taking over in 2023. He says businesses are being demolished instead of being supported, employment opportunities are disappearing, and citizens are suffering under rising cost and insecurity. He accused the governor of handling local government finances, alleging that despite claims of savings in local councils, no meaningful development has taken place in any of the 23 LGAs. How do you react to this allegation?
Well, Olajumake, let me just tell you that the PDP, when they talk about squandering, it is the PDP that has squandered the goodwill of the people of Sokoto State. They had a chance for 8 years, but what did the state government, the state people get from them? Nothing. They were not able to move the state forward. But they are now uncomfortable with the achievements of Governor Ahmad Aliyu. Now juxtapose what the PDP chairman said with what one of the frontline former PDP supporters, former Governor Attahiru Atubafarawa said. He said Ahmed Aliyu is doing excellently well, and he even compared him to the former premier of northern Nigeria.
All right.
Advised him to continue on the same track that he is going. This
all right, so what you have said now is that
what the chairman of the PDP is saying. They had a chance, but they squandered the chance. So the problem is now, since they have seen somebody, you know, like Shakespeare once said, that there are people who are never comfortable while they see people greater than themselves. Because Governor Ahmed is achieving, because he is working for the people of Sokoto State, because the people themselves are now applauding the achievements of Governor Ahmed Aliyu. That is why our political opponents are not comfortable. All
right, so what you have said now is that Governor Aliyu has not squandered the resources of Sokoto State. But from all available statistics...
It is the PDP that has squandered their chance.
Okay.
It is them that squandered the chance that they had.
I hear you, Honorable Commissioner, but from all available statistics, the state is ranked as one of the states with the highest poverty rates in Nigeria. So, I mean, the next logical question would be, what has the governor been doing with the allocation from the federal account and IGR?
Governor Ahmed Aliyu is repositioning Sokoto State. You see, one of the most important things to build an economy is to ensure that you have adequate power supply. This is one of the most important ways to improve an economy. And the Sokoto State government is now building a 38 megawatts independent power project. And as soon as that project is completed, the people of Sokoto State will enjoy steady power supply, industries will pick up. All this is part of the establishment, the successes from the establishment of the Economic Council by Governor Ahmed Aliyu in his wisdom. And that committee has recommended the completion of that abandoned project. The abandoned project has been lying since the administration of former Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol came. He met that project, he abandoned that project, he refused to finish that project so that it could improve the economy of the state. But Governor Ahmed Aliyu has funded that project. The governor has paid near to 1 billion naira to ensure the completion of the independent power project.
All right.
Another project also of economic value is the Moringa project under Akrisal. And they are building about 40 hectares, 40 square hectares of Moringa. Moringa is a plant that has various medicinal and economic value. And when that project also comes to fruition, it will greatly increase the finances of the state, and it will enable us to generate more revenue for the state. Apart from that, also the project is including that in that project, we also have 23 solar-powered boreholes. These boreholes are meant to supply, to water the plants and also provide water for the communities around those areas. All these projects undertaken by the state government to ensure that the economy of the state is improved. When we have the power project on stream, when the power project is completed, more industries, more jobs will come on stream, and that will strengthen the economy.
All right then, great achievements and great vision for the states. Interestingly, the PDP has also accused the governor of neglecting rural areas and focusing on the urban areas, but we do not have enough time for you to react to that. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and for reacting to some of the allegations, serious allegations leveled against your principal. Thank you for joining us.
No local government in Sokoto State is not benefiting by a road project.
All right. Alhaji Sambo Bello Danchadi, Commissioner for Information and Orientation in Sokoto State. Thank you so much for your time tonight, and please have a great weekend.
Thank you. Thank you, Alhaji Meke. My pleasure. Thank you, listeners.
All right. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But before we go, let's tell you that the views and reactions of our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Meanwhile, you can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode at midnight. Get in touch with us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and X at TVC News NG and at Olajumoke WO using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News NG. I am Olajumoke Olatunji.